Having a little relic hunt today. We're in Cold Harbor, and sometimes people ask me why I spend so much time in Cold Harbor. There are so many places that had battles and skirmishes and campsites. And it's really just because Hanover County is what I know. I grew up right in the heart of the Cold Harbor battlefield. My living room was quite often filled with the old-time relic hunters that my dad hunted a lot with. Popeye Hot, Mac Mason, Tallies, people who were there right in the beginning. I didn't hunt with those guys. I was too young. But I grew up listening to those stories, and so I know where they went and where they found this and where they found that and what their theories were about this area or that area. And so I spend a lot of my time in Cold Harbor. I grew up knowing the farmer, Mantlows and Goodmans and Tallies and Kirby's and Mills and just all of those folks. Bob Jeter and Merle Smith and those kinds of guys. Heck, I used to ride my pony through the White House property and all the way back to Maurice Adams' place and just basically make a pest of myself. It's what I know. I think Cold Harbor just runs in my blood. So you may see some of the same ground in my videos, but I guarantee you this, all of that ground is blood-soaked ground, and it has a history that should be remembered. I'm the Battlefield Walker. Let's go relic hunting. I feel it. 69 caliber round ball. All right, got one that popped out of the hole pretty quick. There we go. The round ball. You know, in my last video, I accidentally dug up a broken inkwell. Just a beautiful piece of blue glass. It was a shame that it was all broken up. That broken inkwell has absolutely no value. But to me, it's one of the most profound things you could find. Some soldier dipped his pen in that inkwell. But to think of that soldier using that inkwell to write to his wife or his mother or his girlfriend. Nope, piece of lead. I don't know what that was used for. This definitely sounds like a brass signal. Oh man, I just dug in the wrong place. It's right there. It's plenty shallow. Melted lead. I'm expecting a bullet. Round ball, 69 caliber, of course. You've learned that. About time for us to find a button, isn't it? And I don't think this is a button. This sounds like a bullet signal to me. Makes me, oh, there it is, I think. What does that look like to you? Well, I just mentioned how it was time for us to dig a button. This may be our button. It's out of the hole. I'm still guessing a button. Oh, hello there, stranger. How do you do? Now tell me, can it be that you're from Dixie? Well, this boy wasn't from Dixie, but his button is from Dixie now, because it's been in Dixie for 150 years. Pretty little eagle button. Right on time. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this one is a bullet, based on the sound it's making. But I can feel it right there. It doesn't seem to be very white patina, but I see the 3 rings. Let's quit playing with it. I don't think that's a round ball either. I think that's like a 3-ringer. Oh, look at that now. All right, this is pretty cool. Here's one. This is a piece of lead that the soldiers flattened to use for a checker or a game piece or a poker chip or whatever. This does not excite me, but it's in this root ball somewhere. A little buck out of a bucking ball. I'm 99% sure this is iron. I'm actually 100% sure it's iron. Probably a horseshoe. There it is. Let's see what it is. Horseshoe? Yep. This sounds like a bullet. Oh, we already dug it out. Oh, shoot. Would you look at that? I see green, and it's a big one. It's a coat-sized button. You see it, don't you? That's a coat-sized button. And I don't think that's I don't think that's an eagle button. No, it might be. It's a honking big one if it is. I don't know. I don't think that's an eagle button. I think I see a little ridge around it, which probably makes it a state button. Unless it's shoot, I don't know. We'll find out when we get home. But how about that? Trying to get to the truck to eat lunch. There be the truck, but here be a button. A nice big fat green button. Hot dog. Okay, now we're getting back on the button board. Found 2 buttons today versus probably 6 or 7 bullets. I guess the odds are it's a bullet. Or it's in this clod. Daggone buck. It sounds like a round ball to me. Yep. It's in my hand. Yep, there's a round ball. Oh, here we go. Now, this is going to be a perfect illustration. I've been telling you about soldiers melting bullets in a fire. That looks like a 3-ring bullet, but it's melted. Look, you can see where it melted and flowed out to the side. Looks like a 3-ringer, but it's only the top. That dude pretty much melted in the fire, but not all the way. A little tiny piece of melted lead. This is a part of the field where I found a lot of melted lead. So I'm pretty sure this is where a pretty sizable campfire was. Might have even been the center of the camp. I don't know. Nope. So this sounds good versus some of the stuff I've been digging lately that have turned out to be bucks and melted lead. This one sounds better. This one almost sounds a little brassy. Is it in this clod? Yep, it's in this clod. What is it, a piece of wire or something? Looks like I got a little piece of cloth in here. What is that? Oh, you know what that is, don't you? Now that is a relic right there. That's an N95 mask. And there's the nose piece to the mask. That's a piece of history I'd rather forget. Sure enough, out here in the middle of a farmer's field, there's an N95 mask. That's history, but it's history I don't want to have nothing more to do with. All right, we're just a couple of feet from where we found that Civil War N95 mask. So I hope we don't find another COVID mask here. Ooh, I never thought of that. Maybe that mask was full of dormant COVID that I just dug up. I'm guessing this is another buck. Yep, I feel it. I seem to be in a little mid-afternoon slump. Another buck, and that thing rang up sounding exactly like a bullet. All right, trying again to get out of the slump. Very close to the surface. It's green, but it ain't a button. What is that? Oh, looky there. All right. That's a little hook that would have gone on a soldier's belt. To adjust it, you would push it up further and hook it through a hole if you were skinnier. Pull it down and put it in a hole if you had a little bit more weight. So finally, there's something other than a bullet or a button that's Civil War. That's a little belt adjuster. And I'm feeling good about this target. All right, we're on the right track. All right, we're close, or getting closer, I should say. Oh, look, you see it, don't you? You probably saw it before I did. Well, what is that? What in the world? I have no idea what kind of bullet that is. So I have no idea what that is. We may have to consult the experts on that one. I think I dug it. Oh, there it is. That was quick. All right, another 69 caliber round ball. All right, says it's in here. Oh, look right there. You see it? I have a digging buddy. Mud Duck always says, every bullet represents a smile. And for a relic hunter, that's true. It's kind of odd to think that 150 years ago, every one of these bullets represented terror. Looks like a bullet. Down in this dark dirt, they usually have less of a white patina, but it's still a pretty brown, aged patina. This one might be hard to see because there's a lot of rocks here. Uh-oh, there he is. Bet you anything. There he is. Been down there a long time. Last guy that touched it. Where his hand's shaking. Every bullet must have a story to tell. I'm not familiar with the sound I heard on this one. Just a piece of farm junk. Another thing that spoils me about this farm is that there's only a few places on this farm where you find a lot of trash, and I know where those spots are. All right, we got a deep signal here, so let's see what we get. But that's a piece of iron, and so you're going to expect it to do better there. All right, what do we? Oh, it's a big piece of iron. What is that? I don't know what time it is, but I'm tired. Still in the bottom of the hole. Not in the bottom of the hole anymore. Just sitting there waiting for me to find him all these years. There he is. Right when I'm ready to quit, I find something else and I say, oh, I can go a little bit longer. It's a really loud signal, but it must be deep because my pin pointer's not hearing it. I mean, it's a big signal, but I don't know what in the world it could be. It's reading really loud. Nothing. My pin pointer's not hearing it at all. That's wild. I'll let you hear how big this signal sounds. I'm gonna widen this hole out a little. All right, I don't understand what's going on here. I'm excited though. If you're a subscriber of mine, I promise you, I will never title a video, "You won't believe what we found, this is amazing, once in a lifetime," unless it really is. So if you see one of my videos and it says something like that, once in a lifetime, bucket list, amazing, whatever, well, click on it because it's going to be incredible. I'm not into that, trying to bait you into watching. My videos are what relic hunting really is, and that's the good, the bad, and the ugly. This is the weirdest thing I've ever seen. I've never had a target elude me by this much. Well, I told you I was going to show you what real relic hunting was, the good, the bad, and the ugly. I don't know whether this is the bad or the ugly. It definitely is not the good. I've never had a machine give me this much of a false reading. But you heard it. I mean, it was a killer good reading. And I have dug and dug and dug. This apparently was destined to be the end of my hunt, because I sure ain't hunting no more after this. Holy moly. Well, that was an education. If I wasn't worn out before, I'm worn out now. This is a battlefield walker. He's done. I hope you enjoyed relic hunting with me today. And I'm reaching back about 60 years to some of the earliest days of metal detecting with the finds I want to show you tonight. Two absolutely gorgeous plates. This is a U.S. box plate that my dad found in the 1950s in that beautifully preserving Cold Harbor sand. It's the difference between a plate found in the 1950s and a plate found today. But I have another piece I want to show you. This is just an eagle breastplate that also was found by my dad in the 1950s. Now this is a good example, in my opinion, of over cleaning. I don't like to over clean a relic. I look at it this way. It took 150, 160 years for a relic to develop that beautiful patina that it has. Whether it's the green patina of brass, the white patina of lead. I just like for a relic that came out of the ground to look like it came out of the ground. When we find relics, relic hunters, our first inclination is to get that thing home and clean it up. And we can do more damage than good sometimes because we clean too much. This plate, in my opinion, was cleaned too much. It's just too pretty. It doesn't look like it was ever in the ground. If you look at the back, you can see that it was in the ground. This particular plate has a little bit of a story to it. My mom, he brought this home and it was in such beautiful condition. My mom looked at it and said, "Melvin, would you clean that plate up and polish it?" She didn't have any interest in Civil War relics, but she just thought the eagle was pretty. And so she asked my dad to polish it up, and believe it or not, she wanted him to attach it to the flap of her pocketbook. Daddy did that, and for I don't know how many years, my mom carried probably the only pocketbook in the country that had a battlefield found U.S. Eagle breastplate attached to the flap. Props to my dad for knowing that when Mama's happy, everybody's happy. Look, I'm glad you joined us today to relic hunt, and I'm glad I got to share a couple of old finds from the 1950s with you. Special thanks to those of you who have subscribed to my channel or liked one of the videos. If you haven't done that yet, I hope you do. We'll go relic hunting again. Until then, I'm the battlefield walker. Be good and say your prayers.